TFAA. Thank you for attending. Our next presenter is Dr. Timothy Rivotto, and he is going to be talking about the safest and the safe way to approach speed without getting hurt. Partnering up with Coach Kevin Duffy, he's the other half of the dream team, if you will. Having a team around you from strength and conditioning and technique and medical is oftentimes a huge, huge advantage for your population. So Doc, come on up and let's talk about elongating that career.
Awesome. Thanks, Lance. Thanks for being here, everyone. I'm really excited. I'm stoked to be here. This is my first official full week of PGA Show. I was down here in 2019, actually, for the weekend edition of TPI Level 1, and had a great time. Actually didn't even know that the PGA Show was going on. I was just coming down. I wanted to learn some stuff. I was a new grad physical therapist. I had 2 years under my belt. I was working in a top hospital in Boston, and I was getting bored, and I wanted something new. So I came down here, learned all about the golf swing, about how the body should move in the golf swing, and here I am today. So I'm excited to get going. Now, my number one goal as a physical therapist is to make sure that you and all your clients are playing more golf with less pain, okay? Notice I didn't say without any pain at all right? Because that's not realistic. Whenever we're doing athletic movements, we're moving fast, injuries do happen, okay? But we can do all of these great things. You've heard a number of people talk today about club head speed, things to do in the gym. We can do a lot to make sure that you stay healthy, that you get faster, and that you're playing better. So, with that said, I still like to have fun, all right? I still like to get up, first tee, take a big cut at the ball, and hit a nice, high, deep, penetrating cut. Watch it fold over right on itself and just drop out there. Ideally, past Duffy. It does happen from time to time, trust me. I know he's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster. I got the center of the club head, though, all right? I got the club face. We know from the statistics as well that club head speed is here to stay, okay? If you look at Arcos data, you look at Clipped, any golf metrics that everyone is gathering now, they tell us two things. If you are closer to the hole off the tee, it's going to take you fewer strokes to get in the hole. That's better golf. We all like that. The second point is that even if that first shot is in the rough, the first point is true, okay? This means that club head speed is going to be something that you should be working on. Any of your competitive players should be working on it. And again, it's here to stay. Chasing club head speed is also a very violent and aggressive activity, right? In a normal, just nice, easy tempo golf swing, we tend to see forces up to 8 times body weight in the lumbar spine, okay? And in rotation, we see about 10 times body weight. So that's a lot of force that we're asking our muscles, our tendons, our ligaments, all of our body systems to handle. As such, we've got to do a good job in the gym and in our lessons, that's where you guys come in, to make sure our people are doing all the right things, okay? So what does that mean? Firstly, we look at their technique, right? That's your domain. I am not a PGA professional. I'm not a swing coach. I do still have everyone hit a couple of balls before we get working together. Because as a movement expert, I can watch a golf swing and say, that's effective. You hit your target, your body moved smoothly, coordinated, nothing weird there, it's effective. I can also look at a golf swing and say, oh man, that is ineffective. All right, we've got some power leaks somewhere in the chain, you're not hitting your target, something's off, we've got to work on that, okay? With those people, with those ineffective swings, I'm sending them to you guys right away. We're going to get started with our strength, but I'm going to a swing coach to really get that technique dialed in I'm going to give them insight as to how the person moves and what they can do physically. And then you're going to run with that and teach them how to use it in a golf swing, in the skill. Teach them where their hands should be. Teach them how they should turn, how they should shift their weight. Second thing we can do is we can get in the gym. And if you've been around this stage today, you've heard multiple people talk about that in all different aspects. I'm going to talk about one piece of a good, well-rounded strength and conditioning program that will help keep people healthy as they chase speed. It's going to help mitigate injury, and it's going to help keep them on the course. When we talk about injuries in speed training, some of you might be thinking, oh, we're taking a maximum force swing. Someone's probably got a herniated disc, right? Not typically the case. If we're doing speed training and someone's herniating a disc, that's probably a long-standing issue that's been there, and we should have addressed it a long time ago. All right? The two biggest injuries or pain points that I see come up when people are chasing speed is they get their speed sticks or they get their rip stick or whatever tool you use. They're all good. They all work. They either get some serious muscle spasms where, if you're doing a 30 swing session, on swing 20, they go rear back and their whole back locks up in spasm. So a couple people flinch out here. I'm sorry if that was you. It does happen. It's not fun. But typically in a couple days, those muscles calm down. You get on the foam roller, you move around a little bit, you can loosen it up. Okay, that's not super serious. But if you're experiencing that, or your athletes are experiencing that, that's a sign that their muscles can't handle the force of the golf swing. Okay? When a muscle cramps like that, especially at high speeds, that's your brain's way of saying, hey, I'm not sure this muscle can handle this force. I don't know if we can control it. Let's just batten down the hatches, and we'll make sure nothing bad happens. All right? That's when we tend to get joint pain, we get those muscle cramps, we get a lot of compression. If you're getting that in your speed training, we want to stop for right now, get you in the gym, get you with Duffy, get you with myself, any of the people that were up here today speaking, and build strength. 4 weeks, get in the gym, slow resistance exercise. The second biggest injury that I see with speed training specifically is tendon pain. All right? You probably know it as tendonitis. In the rehab world, in the medical world, we call it tendinopathy now because there's kind of a spectrum and we like to geek out and make up words and things. So, tendons, elbow, golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, rotator cuff tendon, and Achilles tendon. Also, we can kind of blur that in with the plantar fascia. All right? Those three areas typically will start to get inflamed, they'll start to break down, they'll get painful. Can I get permission to geek out for like 3 minutes? Because I got to tell you, tendons are like one of my favorite things in the world. Tendons are amazing. Muscles are cool, muscles look good on the beach. They help your pants fit well, your jeans fit well. But tendons are where it is at. If you don't know, tendons attach muscle to bone. Okay? They're a very densely interwoven network of fibers. They're super strong. And what they do is they anchor that muscle to the bone so that your muscle contracts, it shortens, it pulls on that tendon, and it stretches it back like a slingshot. Muscle relaxes, let go of the slingshot. You just got a bunch of free energy, free speed, free force out of that tendon, rebounding back to its normal length. So tendons stretch and shorten and help us move our bones. They help us be efficient. They give us a little free force, free speed. There are a couple of little nuances with tendons that we have to keep in mind. Tendons have a ton of innervation. Tons. Okay, they've got these little spindly, spring-like looking nerves that run the whole length. They tell you how much tension is on that thing. They tell you where your joint is in space. They tell your brain a ton of information. They're telling you, I just tried to do X. I just tried to hit a cut. 150 yards and hit that pin, and your tendons evaluate how you just moved and send message back up to the brain, say, oh yeah, I think we did it, or no, I don't think we did it. Really cool. Tendons also protect you from yourself. So if you have time or you're bored tonight, or if you want, I'll show you after this, Google powerlifting and GTO, Golgi tendon organs. All right? It's a guilty pleasure of mine, I admit. And it's only funny because everyone's safe, no one gets hurt. But you'll see a video of a big powerlifter, Thor-looking guy. He's got a ton of weight on the bar. He's really pushing. He's turning red. His nose might be bleeding. He's stuck. And then all of a sudden, his legs are just going to fold like a house of cards, down. That's those nerves in your tendon sending the signal up saying, hey, dude, tension on this tendon is getting way too much. We can't handle it. Muscle's going to tear. Shut down the muscle. Your tendon has that much power. It's pretty amazing. While your tendons have great innervation and a lot of nerve fibers in them, they have terrible, terrible blood flow. About a third of the blood flow of muscles, bones, that sort of thing. So that means a couple of things. It means we can't train them every day. We can't do tendon-specific stuff every day. And speed training puts a lot of stress on the tendons as far as tension, compression, and just the speed of the movement. It also means that we have to do specific things if we want to strengthen our tendons, if we want to get them a little bit more healthy, a little bit more full of water and dense, good nutrition. We've got to be very specific with our exercise. So, with that said, if we think about speed training in a right-handed golfer, if we're really trying to get those hands deep and get them high and be able to come down through impact and create a lot of speed, this lead shoulder, your poor rotator cuff tendon is getting stretched across your body. You're moving faster than you normally do, so tendons don't like speed. They like tension, but it's got to be applied slowly. And we're getting compression against your humerus. So you're stretching that guitar string, that rubber band, you're compressing it against your humerus, and then you're just letting it fly. That's violent. It causes a lot of inflammation locally, a little micro tearing. So I'll get into it in about 2 minutes here. The one piece that we add into a training program helps reverse that process. It helps put slow tension on the muscle, or on the tendon, excuse me. Gets the muscle contracting and holding. Milks a little bit of blood into that tendon so we get some nutrition. We get the good stuff there that's going to lay down new tissue, new collagen, and make it stronger, stiffer. We also get the other cells in there that are going to clean up any of that inflamed tissue and get it out of there. Give you a nice, healthy, strong tendon. Okay? The secret here is isometric exercise. Okay? It's not sexy. I admit it's not sexy, but it works. Okay? I want you to try, I'll define it with a demonstration. Okay? Everyone hands up in front of their chest like this, elbows high. Push your hands together and just hold it there. Push, hold, hold. Duffy, enough with the elbows. Jeez. Okay, relax. You just did an isometric exercise. You got your pec working, your rotator cuff working, pulling on those tendons. You did it. So we're just getting those muscles pulling, contracting, but your arms aren't moving, your joints aren't moving, your bones aren't moving. All right? This starts that biochemical process that lays down new tissue, cleans up the old inflamed stuff, and keeps your tendon ready to go. So in 36 to 48 hours, when that tendon's gone through its full recovery process, you're ready to go. If you're doing your speed sessions, though, inside of that 36-hour window, it's a little bit of breakdown, and then the next time you go, a little more breakdown, and then the snowball is spiraling down the hill. Okay? I group tendons into two groups. Okay? What I call our really stretchy tendons. So these are our people that are hypermobile. are junior golfers who just, when they go into the backswing, you're just like holding your breath waiting for them to stop. That club just keeps going, 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 and wraps around their neck. This is your yoga people who can put their hands flat on the floor. Okay? They have a ton of mobility. Their collagen's a little stretchier. This might sound crazy, but we want to make them a little stiffer. We want tendons to have some stiffness. Think about a rubber band. This is that like old stretched out rubber band that when you stretch it out, you let it go, it doesn't really rebound back. Okay? Isometrics help these people because the stimulus of that constant tension gives them more stiffness. It also puts them in a middle range, not that extreme end range of motion where bad stuff happens. Keeps them in the middle. It also improves our co-contraction around that joint. So if we think about our knee, we want our quad and our hamstring contracting together, keeping that knee joint nice and stable. If one's stronger than the other, we're going to get some sliding going on that we don't want. Cartilage can slide and glide, but if we're doing it with a lot of compression, especially 8 times body weight compression, like I mentioned at the start, that's a recipe for disaster. And arthritis. No one wants that. All right, a couple people looked at me when I said that other people can put their hands flat on the floor. That means you're in this second group I'm about to talk about, okay? That group is the stiff group. So typically this is our people over 50. They're a little less mobile. Maybe they've been working a desk job the last 30 years or so. They need to work on their mobility for sure. If I had another 30 minutes, I'd talk to you about how we could do that, but I don't. They also need to work on their tendon quality, but because their tendons are a little too stiff, and their tendons are starting to break down a little bit, all right? After the age of 60, about 2/3 of people have partial rotator cuff tears. Whether they have pain or not is irrelevant, but they've got some tearing going on. It's inevitable. But I describe it like that. Anyone have a knit blanket at home that they love? They've had it for years. It's got a big hole in it. Blanket still works, right? You lay on the couch, you watch Sunday football for a couple hours, that thing keeps you warm still. Your tendon's the same way. If you have a little hole in the middle of your tendon, you've still got all this tissue around it that we can strengthen. It's great. Let's just not do too much so that that hole gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? The final way that isometrics will help these stiffer tendons is in helping build strength and build hydration. If you do nothing after the age of 20, and playing golf doesn't count, I'm sorry. Playing golf is like a life activity. I'm talking in the gym, working out, lifting weights, challenging your body. If you do nothing at all, every 10 years after the age of 20, you lose 10% of your strength and mobility. All right, so if you're sitting here and you're 60 and you haven't done anything the last 40 years, you're half the man you used to be, or woman you used to be. It's no wonder you can't swing the club fast anymore, right? So, I'm not all doom and gloom today. I'm going to get into it about how we can, 3 drills that we can use really quickly. You could even implement these at the start of your lessons. It takes 3 minutes. It's going to help keep people's tendons strong, stiff, and hydrated, good nutrition. And it's also going to help them continue their speed training without getting hurt, okay? So, we know our 3 primary directions of force in the golf swing, right? For speed, number 1 is verticals, right? Vertical jump is number 1. Probably number 2, I'd say, is laterals, right? Shifting your weight side to side. And then we have the obvious rotary force that we're going to create in any golf swing. Okay? I've got three drills that are going to address all 3 of those right here, right now. And it'll help reveal a lot about how your golfer moves and will help inform your lessons, I think, as well. All right? Can I get a volunteer? Anyone want to come up and try these? Come on up, man. Thanks. All right, Jonathan. You right-handed, left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay. Set up in your golf posture for me. And face me. Okay. So, take your hands, put them straight out ahead of you. In the gym, I usually do this against the wall. In your hitting bay, you can do this against the wall. On the driving range, put them up against the golf cart. All right, hand to hand with me. Don't let me push you over.
Right.
Hold. We already stepped back. There we go. And relax. Good. What'd you feel, Jonathan?
4.
Okay, so he felt his core. That's good. I also saw that right foot step back when I pushed on him. So instantly that tells me, all right, maybe he can push through his left leg, but he's having a hard time pushing through his right leg. How might that show up in the golf swing? We got people that have trouble loading their trail hip, right? Loading that pelvis in the backswing. That's a big source of power. Okay? Now, set up the same way again. Hands up. All right, now, I want you to go only on that right leg. Push. Good. Lift that left. Lift it. There we go. See? Relax. He's having a hard time even staying on that one leg, right? So we can get someone doing that for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, right at the start of their golf lesson. Get against the wall. Push. More often than not, he felt his core. He's also a strength and conditioning specialist, so he knows how to move. Most of our people go, oh, I felt my back. And when they push, they extend. That's where bad stuff happens and injuries happen. We can get them and go, okay, I want you not to feel it in your back. I want you to push down through your legs. Feel it in your butt. Feel it in your quads. Feel it in your abs. Okay? There are different parameters for this, different lengths of time holding, different intensities of holding. I can give you all that information. If you want to give me your email at the end, I'll send you a link with everything there. But to keep it simple today, we want at least 60 seconds of push. Okay? If they can do it all in one bout, that's great. If they can stand there and push for 60 seconds, go for it. I know a minute doesn't sound very long, but sustained muscle contraction, especially if you're going 100% effort, is tiring. Okay? So feel it out, try it out at home. Okay, number 2, rotary force. Let's look at it. Set up in your golf position. Keep your hands together. Bring them up for me. Okay. Don't let me push you over. Good. Hold, 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 hold. And relax. Good. Okay. What'd you feel?
Core and shoulder.
Okay. So he felt core and shoulder. I saw him load into his right leg. So he was using his right leg. But that tells me his dominant movement strategy is going to be arm and trunk leading. Not the best combination in a golf swing, right? We want pelvis leading, trunk following, arms following. But he could do it. Okay? So we can do the same thing. Get them in your hitting bay. Get them, the frame on the golf cart. Get their hands against that wall. Push. Make sure they're feeling their legs, their core. These are great too because we're using our arms. We got rotator cuff in there. If we're applying that force at the hand, we've got some elbow load going on. Help with that golfer's elbow, tennis elbow. And if he's already painful, if he's coming in and saying, yeah, my shoulder, it's been bugging me for the last 10 years, today's a bad day. You get him doing 30 seconds of this, and within 10 minutes, his pain levels are going to be way down. I do it every day in the clinic. People come in after surgery. I can't move this thing. Get them pushing for a minute. Oh, I feel great. I can bend it. I can walk. I can do everything. Okay? So with those people that come in all the time, you're like, that's a crappy day, and you're thinking in your mind, oh, what are we going to get out of this lesson today? Do a couple of these really quick. Doesn't take a doctorate degree to do some of this stuff. All right? So we've got our verticals. We've got our rotary. Let's talk about laterals. This is one that you might have used. This is a drill that I've seen some PGA pros use before. So get in your golf posture again, please, Jonathan. All right, now I'm going to push your knees together. Don't let me push.
Okay.
Here. Good. Hold, 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 and relax. Good. What'd you feel there? Glutes. Glutes are our primary lateral stability. You've got your glute max that everyone on Instagram likes to show off. We've got our glute medius on the side here that is much more functional and in a golfer should be strong as an ox. Okay? Same thing. We see someone that's having trouble sliding. We see someone who's having trouble loading that pelvis. Get them doing 60 seconds of this. Hit a couple more golf balls. They probably won't be able to tell you what feels different, but I guarantee they'll tell you it doesn't feel, it's not as painful, and something feels different. I think it feels better. That's what I hear all the time. Not sure what it is, but it feels better. All right. Thanks, my man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Yep.
So, and number 2, we're helping warm up their muscles and activate their muscles. Get them ready to go. You're going to get more out of your lesson if someone comes in already warmed up, right? I'm sure you guys have those clients who come in 5 minutes late, they're screaming, running out of the car, they jump into the hitting bay, and it takes them 45 minutes to loosen up. And then you're like, all right, well, we can work for 15 minutes, whatever. All right. So very simple, very effective, and I think you'll get more out of your lessons with your clients if you start to use some of these isometric movements. All right. That's my time. Thank you.